Like the being off by like 45 degrees is probably the most visible one, but that's fine. Oh, and I still have this guy in here. Now I should probably be able to go back to player 0 and this should all be fine. No. Why not? Let's just go for this guy. Close that, close that. Delete these two and rename that player 0. I don't even know what the other teams are making. Oh no. I'm gonna cry. I am going to cry. It was working. Why did it stop working? So if I have the circle, it's fine. Okay, whatever. Circle stays for now. So, are you paying attention in keystring? It's not very hard. So in FlashDevelop, assuming you are doing Flash development, this is like the key thing. There's a debugger for the C++ too, but it's like pre-release. It's not really done yet. It's I think from the way I understand it, it's getting there, but it's not quite ready yet. So it's not very hard. This you need to set. So I'm doing OpenFL. So the thing you need to do is just set it to debug up here and to Flash up here. Do an OpenFL build or a Flash build if you're doing like pure native Flash development. Test your project, and if you have the debug Flash player or the debug Flash projector, it will automatically connect to Flash Develop for you. So you can go like set breakpoints and stuff and step through the code as you would in any code editor. But the trick is you need the standalone debug Flash player. This comes with Flash Develop. You can go Tools, Install Software. I don't know if you could see that menu. Yeah, I could. There, I think, is an option here to install the standalone debug Flash player. But sometimes if you have normal Flash installed, that Flash player will override the debug Flash player. So you go into the Flash Develop settings, and down here is a setting for, I can't remember which one it is, Flash Viewer, I think. Yeah, this will have the path to the Flash player you want to use. So copy that path, and then find yourself an SWF file like this one. And you right click and you go open with, choose default program, browse, and you paste in the path to the Flash player you want to use, which needs to be the debug Flash player. And once you've done that and selected always use this program to open this kind of file, it will work. You can see I did this just the other day because I have the release Flash player here. and this is the debug flash player. And the only real way to tell them apart is that this will have the redraw regions. That's like the easiest way to tell them apart. And it can also, sometimes it has like the connect to debugger options, but not always. But if it has the show redraw regions, it is for sure the debug flash player. That's how you do it. What happens if I make this super tiny and like behind? Yep, still works. And if I delete this, it's going to break. No, it's fine now. What? Even in the Windows version? That would stand to reason. I don't think they're... Yeah, it's fine. Okay, whatever. Oh, I want these to be tessellated so bad. We'll have to look into that. But now, this is... It's time to commit. Don't need you. Do need you. Started adding graphics for stuff. We don't need that room. We do need this. So, what happens now? I suppose I should do graphics for the laser drill, whatever. What are you saying in the chat? It's like MS-DOS? What? So one thing I really need is a way to illustrate that you are in fact attached to an asteroid. I also haven't changed the background color. I'm not entirely sure what the little clampy thing should look like. Drill, 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 drill. Oh, now it's not even rendering the drill, which is kind of a problem. Boom. So if I do something like actor, so we'll do that. Arc Games is back. Welcome back. It's been a while since someone made the followers chime go off. Oh wow, it's 5 already. Time flies when you're having fun. I think I'm gonna do the graphics for the little engine thing and maybe for the drill, and then I'm going to take a little break because this is exhausting. So I am going to do a hey Resertas. You know what's up. As does Thoms12. And we're going to need a graphics Clonix 10100. Unknown fact. Maybe I should do all the graphics as SVG. That might be a clever thing to do. So this is going to be player. Sorry about that. I don't know why it does that. Oh, I know exactly why it does that. It's because I pressed the F2 key. Can I? Excuse me while I make my stream not break. So there we go. Player engine, and probably also player clamp. So the engine is going to be basically Shuckles 2828. People were talking to me on the internets at the same time. I don't have the split vision required for this, really. I like how it syncs settings with the server, but I think it's just overriding whatever I had. We will never know. Really? I want color. I don't want these guys. Go away. I don't need any of those guys. Go away. I do want Pathfinder and align. And the transform thing. Attributes. Don't need that. This is the one I want. And this needs to be that sweet orange, really orange color. Something like that. It's a good little engine thing. Now it remains to be seen if this is actually going to be centered correctly, but we'll see. So this should probably depend on the player radius too, if I decide to change that later. Can't be bothered right now. Look at that little flame thing. And for the clamp, I don't know. The one asteroid I can't do that with, I pick. So say this guy is like here. Guessing it's going to need to be something like that. Although maybe not orange. Suppose it could also be something like that, so you can see it better. Because it makes like a really, this is really important if you're attached to an asteroid or not. Maybe the blue one is a better choice for it. And then the drill can be maybe the drill should be black, because black is a pretty rad color. Doesn't really feel like something that should be black though. Suppose I could also do like an outline on the asteroid that it's like being held by the tractor beam or whatever. But that, if I'm going to do that, I would sort of want it to be I guess this kind of works. Oops. I think ideally this would be like a slightly thinner outline, but actually outside the asteroid. Kind of like that, but not awful. Expand fill 20 pixels. It's getting there. Something like that, I'm thinking, could be cool. And I suppose this should really be like not this shape at all, but rather that kind of shape. This should go on top of everything. I'm still not 100% convinced of having this the same color as the ship. But maybe that is a good idea. Tiburon TG, welcome to the club. That's not something I'm going to do for sure. Can't really be blue too. Maybe something like that. That is kind of a boring green though. Suppose I could also do something like that. Maybe that's just too much. Or too complicated rather. This is going to be tricky to get rendering correctly. Especially this part up here. It's going to be hard. And I suppose this really should be like that. That is cool though. What do you shatter guys want from me? Is it cutting the asteroid? Yes, it will be cutting the asteroid. Is there something inside the asteroid's points? Possibly. We haven't gotten that far yet. Is there a space background 3D image? No. Absolutely not. If the drilling thing is also yellow, it kind of looks like the ship is injecting something into the asteroid. I guess maybe that's what I want. I don't know yet. But I think this is what I'm going for right now. Suppose could also have like an outline on the Hey, who's subscribing? Scott Boy for the win. Welcome. Maybe that's cool. Get sort of like the outlines sort of take over. I'm not really sure I am super excited about that. But on the other hand, I don't really have all the time in the world to be spending on this. Trolling Lapis. I'm going to mispronounce your name just because I can. And I don't know what it's supposed to be. This is going to be hard to get rendering, but I suppose we'll have to try. Don't really need that anymore. Freaky something. Freaky noises. Welcome. So, well, I'm going to do the outline on the asteroid first. We'll do a little function on this guy called set attached. This might be useful for other. This is also going to be needed for many things. Maybe that's a smarter way of doing it. Add attached player and a function called remove attached. Because the asteroid needs to know if something's attached to it, right? So we will have does the game have a name yet? No, it does not. But if you want to come up with something, I am all ears. I think it might be a little bit too soon to name it just yet, but I'm open for suggestions. Add attached player, attached players, add player, move attached players, move player. I'm making this a little bit extra complicated so it can deal with multiple players attached to the same asteroid. And then we go render, I suppose, and for this too. This Kill Bill UK, welcome. How should we do this without making it very complicated for ourselves? Do var p point px, because this is turning into a little bit of a mess right here because it has everything twice. Array of b2 vec. Center is a b2 vec2. Now we're going to need a scale or something. Maybe something called like expand. So this should look exactly the same as before. Fingers crossed. It does. Janso Suiki 5. Welcome. My controller is powered off. This is awful. Yeah, asteroids look the same. That's cool. So now expanding them outwards is going to be a little bit tricky, but I think we can do it. So we go P0, go P1 is also another point. So if expand is bigger than 0, or actually if it's not 0, and this should be fine since they're all convex shapes. I should be able to do this the naive and easy way. So I need to figure out what the angle is from the center, which is what P0 would be. So do P1, copy from P0, and P1 is normalized to the expand size, and then I do P0 add. That does it in place, so I have to do P0x plus equals P1. So if we can do a little utility function, public bar has attached public function get has attached players, return attached players length is bigger than 0. And then we do if has attached players, we return, and if it doesn't, we do graphics and fill here. So we stop doing that outline, and then we do graphics, line style, thickness maybe 5. Color is going to be, did I actually copy over the blue color? I don't think I did. So let's name that player attach or something. This looks slightly familiar, this hex code. Yeah, it's the same one. We have that before. This guy right here. But that's not in use right now anyway. So colors, player attach, and expand it maybe 10. This is gonna be interesting. Oh, I just remembered I'm not actually calling these ever. So even if I go boom, yeah, nothing happens. So in player, so this would be like I'm just going to tell the asteroid that I have attached to it. Tech Villa, welcome to the club. These might be troublesome because I gotta remember to call them every time something happens. This is also important. Shabeke, welcome to the club. Hey, look at that. Oh, it's not drawing the final outline. So finally doing graphics, move to oh, it's an array, so I can just go. But I can't. So I have to go inline function transform. Sleepless Nights. That's a punny name. I like it. So transform vertex gives the original vertex. B2 vec2, and I go P0, which is a point, and P1, which is also a point. That should be fine. And then in the end, I go same deal. I just go Toininso, welcome. Vertices 0. Oh, right, it's going to need the expand thing as well. Well, disregarding the fact that it doesn't work, oh, right, I'm not actually doing the thing. Someone subscribed and I was too slow to see it. I'm sorry. I still like you. Here we go. I think the outline is a little bit, it's exaggerated right now, but it does kind of work. Seems like it's not perfect, but it will do. What happens if I go Twanzo? Welcome to the stream. Okay, yeah, that's not exactly ideal. But I suppose it will have to do for now. I can come back to that later. I really need that break. I've been going for 3 hours straight now. Hard work streaming. But we're going to do the laser first. Because that's not going to be that hard. Plus we can do this. We can make the little engine go. David Lam. Hello. It's been a long time. Now you can see the little fire thing actually like turning off and turning on as I'm doing it. I should make the outline a little bit thinner on the asteroids. Where is you? Here. So maybe 3, maybe not 10, but like 7. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this. I don't really even need that attachment line anymore because it's pretty clear that you are in fact attached to that asteroid. I guess it could also be your color if I'm going to add multiplayer to this. But let's get on with rendering that laser. That's going to be a little bit trickier, I think, but we can probably do it. So this is the little bit of math calculating where the laser should be and where the laser should be pointing. Now the question is, so that stuff is all in world space. I need to go from physics engine world space into local. I don't think that's going to be easier at all. Attacher, target normal. Maybe though, just maybe. So I can go laser start, which is in physics space. So we do P0 is new point. That is at laser start X and laser start Y. And then P0 gets multiplied, or it doesn't. Suppose I will just do that. Physics scale. And then P0. Something like that, I think, should work. And then I do the exact same thing for the end. And I do graphics, clear, graphics, draw, line, style, thickness, 3, color. We'll see what that does. Missing semicolon. I think that's actually a space or a parenthesis too much. Too many. Shit, it's time for food too. Look at that! Drilling so much. I kind of like the blinking. I did it just so I could be sure that I saw it, but that's actually not half bad. Boom. This is pretty cool, you guys. Might be time to actually submit a build so you can try this. But that's going to be later today. Yeah, the blue outline just solves the issue of knowing if you're attached or not really well. It is going to be not good for shapes like these, since it takes the points and extrudes them outwards, not the faces themselves. But it works really well for like the roundish kind of shapes. This should mean that this is a perfectly square thing now, if I did that correctly. Or all the corners are perfectly square. It doesn't really need to be. So that's going to be as far as we get for this time around. Um, that was 3 good hours of work on top of the however many hours I did before lunch today, which was probably also like 3 hours. And then I'm gonna go for some food now and take a little bit of a break, and I'll be back later tonight and go for another couple of hours, I think. Um, as usual, you are excellent. You're an excellent audience. Remember to go to the Humble Bundle site and donate so you can actually try this game later, and you will help stop Ebola in Africa, which is much more important than playing this game. I'm happy you hang out. That in the background here is wine. It's like Swedish winter mulled wine. It's going to be done soon, and I'm pretty excited about that. Um, thanks for hanging out. I'll be back in an hour or two, and Nimbus 280. You are also very welcome to the stream in an hour or two when we start again. Thanks for now.